Hey everyone, Miosity here. Today we're going to be starting a new game, and it's this awesome new game. Well, not really new. It's been out, I think, over a year now. It's called Othercide. I haven't played too much of it. As you can see, it's kind of a color muted game. There's only grays, blacks, and reds in it. It's a tactical strategy turn-based game. So it's kind of like BattleTech and XCOM and games like that, but it has its own very unique elements that I'm not even going to try to explain. It's best you guys just see them later in. It has a very rockin' soundtrack, and otherwise, let's just get to it because it's best you just see it because this is such an awesome and unique game. That's a file that I tried recording earlier and I realized how bad I messed up the recording, so I'm just going to start over. For those of you who don't know how I record, I'm going to try not to speak over any of the spoken lines that are kind of important to story and things like that, which this game actually has, believe it or not. So here we go. I'm going to be playing on Nightmare mode here. The original Othercide experience, sacrificing a daughter is the only way to heal another one. That's right, if one daughter gets hurt, they stay hurt. They do not heal whatsoever. So you have to sacrifice a daughter, and it will get more into that later because you can't just sacrifice any daughter to heal another one. And that's the mode we'll be playing. And yes, we will play the tutorial again to show you guys. From behind the veil they grow, those you should beware. In the muted darkness they flow, those who feed on your nightmare. The Book of Nostra. For centuries, Mother has protected the veil, preventing it from shattering. Her journey has led her to the deserted streets of the city, rotted by the plague, where a greater threat awaits.
He needs us. The other has come for the chosen one, and soon the veil will break. The suffering cannot continue.
The Age of Shattering, year 1897.
Suffering festers within him. The edge of reality frays. Each battle takes more and more out of me. The other could shred the veil and devour our world. Will you stay with me until the end? I'll give what I can. What I have left. Let it go here and no further.
Alright, let's see what we got
my
here.
Friend. Once I move to strike, the first will fall.
Health points, HP. Your unit dies if they reach 0 health. Kind of obvious, but action points, these are action points. Most actions cost AP. Move to the red square. The more you move, the more action points it will cost you. So yeah, there's no like, you can move with 1 AP. Every action costs your base AP and is all 1 unit, whatever. So if I move here, that's 10 of her AP out of her 100 total. Slashing will take another 35 of the 100 total. And then there's this little neat timeline here that shows the initiative of everything. The timeline orders all units by their initiative and moves forward when a unit ends their turn. A unit can play when it reaches 0 on the left side of the timeline. Kind of self-explanatory. Your unit will move to 50 on the timeline and recover all their AP for the next turn. So if I end my turn, I instantly go to 50 initiative unless I use more than 50, in which case I'll go to 100. Delayed skills immediately end the unit's turn, and their powerful effects are activated later on the timeline. So that's what this guy with the gun just did. The cultist is preparing a delayed massive shot. So that goes right here. If I were to wait, she would get hit for that massive hit. So we're going to shield charge him. The skill will delay the target's next action. It will also cancel their delayed attack massive shot. Interrupt skills can stop a single enemy attack and immediately launch a counterattack. Interrupt skills will cost health points instead of action points. So as you can see, well, Vengeful Stance right here costs 20 total HP, which is not much. Not many of them have a flat cost though. So Vengeful Stance will interrupt the next melee attack and launch a devastating counterattack. And then we will end our turn, because that's what it wants us to do. And since he had tried to attack, we attack first and beat him to the punch.
Fear not. I can stop the attack before it happens.
So here it wants us to activate Spear Tornado for the AoE. But notice how it set us way back here instead of at the 50 mark. Action points burst. Your unit will go into burst if they start using their last 50 AP. This pushes you back to 100 on the timeline, so be careful to burst only when you need an extra move or to deal a killing blow to a wounded enemy. Some skills like Shield Charge can delay the next time an enemy will play to give you more time control on the timeline. So why is she only... Dodge is a % chance a unit has of avoiding an attack. Armor is unit's protection. It represents the damage deducted from each attack received. Dodge and armor can be modified by an ally or enemy skill, so always pay attention to skill descriptions. Remember, the timeline is the key to winning battles. Powerful delays skills end your unit's turn immediately and activate later. Interrupt skills prepare your unit to block an attack and strike back after their turn. Some skills delay next time an enemy will play to give you more control. Using your last 50 AP will provoke a burst, pushing your unit to 100 on the timeline.
Gift gives me such strength.
Alright, now we have full access to her stuff. So let's see if we can shield charge him. He's probably going to come in and hit her. So we're going to finish him off, which I know is going to push her way back. Then we're going to Vengeful Stance. So that way when he does come and attack, he's just finished off. And looks like 2 new spawns. Not sure they're gonna do anything. Oh, Yep, they are. And Vengeful only got one counterattack off. We're gonna actually... Oh, why did that end her turn? I didn't click that. But okay. She's getting a little beat up there. We got 2 new spawns coming in. I think him and then one there. And now we're gonna do this. And hopefully take all 3 of them out. Nope. We're gonna try this one out. So Hail of Shards comes down. Now he goes. Hail of Shards comes down. He's not in range for that, so I'm gonna move here. Then we're gonna shield charge him. Should give us 40 left. Going to slash him and then get a vengeful stance so he can't attack us. That'll be our turn. And looks like something creepy spawns.
He is here. The chosen one. I don't want to harm you, little one.
But we want to harm you. Very much.
I have failed. You most of all. I fought with every bone and sinew. All I am, I leave to you. Take it. My blood is my legacy. May it spill forth into an army to rend suffering from its host.
The city was destroyed, the veil fractured. Thousands of souls perished, swallowed by the void. I do find it interesting that it has the text up here, and then more subtext down here.
My voice destroyed a city. It's not enough. How soon will you hatch? I want you in this world. I want to see what you can do. To those that hurt me. To those you will hurt. I can't wait.
He sounds like a fun person, doesn't he? Time and space converged. Reality and unreality were on the edge of destruction for the first time, and Other was close to breaking through.
Do not despair. My life lights your path. Do you remember our journey together? This time, let me guide you. You will wield my memories like a sword, and with them, grow our army.
And thus they were trapped in an everlasting loop, from recollection to recollection. Daughters of the Red Mother die only to rise again. The Age of Shattering, 1897 to 1929. Time flipping back and forth.
This dark corner of existence is a harbinger. Soon all will follow. The very fabric of our reality is threatened. My last breath is near. My daughters, you are of me. Put an end to suffering.
Othercide is a game about sacrifice and tough choices. Progress is autosaved, so there is no turning back. The enemies in Othercide are lethal, and every mistake will cost you dearly. Your daughters will die, and you will lose, only to rise stronger again. The game expects players to fail, but failure is not the end. After ending a run, you restart with additional bonuses and even the ability to resurrect fallen daughters for a cost. So I want to preface this by I am not going to beat this on run 1. I don't know how many runs this is going to take, but I do plan on beating this game. But I mainly wanted to create this episode with just the tutorial mission in it to show you guys some of the mechanics of this game, to show you how rough of a thing this actually may be.
From this side of the veil, I can give you my daughters, birthed from my soul. You will need them to fight.
Because some of the mechanics, especially later on,
agony uncovered?
are actually really rough, because like it said earlier, you need to sacrifice a daughter to heal another daughter, but there's compounded things on top of that. And it'll show you that when I go to heal the daughter for the first time, but it's not just like, oh, I can sacrifice a level 1 to heal a level 8. It doesn't work like that. It needs to be a level 8 or higher to heal a level 8 or higher. So you need to have a stock of daughters that you're training just to heal daughters that you're using. It's pretty bad, and at some points you actually need to make a choice of, well, I'm using both of these ones, but this one's hurt more, and this one has less abilities, so I'm going to use it to heal this one. And it's just a choice you have to make in a late game decision thing. So this is the Chronomap. From here, you will be able to manage your daughters in the inner void, select a mission from the attack menu, and end the day. Let's enter the inner void and germinate a new daughter. That just sounds so wrong. Welcome to the inner void. Here you can manage your daughters. For now, there are only 3 classes your daughters, or the daughters, can be. Soul Singer, Blade Master, and Shield Bearer? Shield something. And it always has some kind of name like this. You can name them yourself. I just kind of keep them like this. The Blade Master excels in melee duels. The Soul Singer supports her sisters from afar. The Shield Bearer protects her sisters. I've played this game once before. I didn't beat it because I had it on a laptop that fried out. My file didn't carry over. I've found a few workable team compositions, and one of them is literally just 1-1-1. So that's the main one I'm going to be using for now.
The others are converging, warping reality. You must stop suffering from feeding. Go. Close the first synapse.
Oh, I suppose it's gonna make me actually do this to show you guys the rest of it. So we'll do the first mission. Celeste, Grace, and Hope are our daughters that we'll be using. Soul Singer, Shield Bearer, and Blade Master. And yeah, we can actually customize how they look a little bit later.
Careful. You wouldn't want my scalpel to slip into innocent flesh.
Flanking behavior. While a unit is engaged in melee combat, attacks coming from the flank or back will hurt more. So we're gonna have her move there and end. Or our shield bearer, since there's only one right here, is gonna move over here where there's two of them. And so is our sword master, our blade master. And I really do have to say, for this being a small company that made this, I believe it's an indie. I'll correct that statement in the description if it's not. They made banger music and really did well on the unit design, both ally and enemy. I think we can take him out. Well, if not, this may hurt a bit. Alright, we took him out.
How foolish my fears.
Alright, Grace can go over here and lunge him. This should take him out and burst her. She has 25 left, so she can't do anything else.
Another terror to haunt us.
And the last one is coming in right up there, so Celeste should be able to take it out once she's done. Meaning Hope can come over here, burst, and take out this therapist.
Exquisite.
Since she's burst anyway, I'm moving her over here.
Memories of another life. Guard them well.
And the pop-up over there was basically a drop that we get that we can put to use later. We'll take out this Plague Doctor. Because if I burst her, I'm pretty sure we can take him out. One more.
How foolish my fears. Memories of another life.
Alright, and here it shows the after battle
Come what may, we will slow suffering's progress.
stuff, so each of them leveled up, each of them got a skill for leveling up, and the Soul Singer actually got 2 traits. So funny thing about the traits, they're little bonuses that you get regardless if you level up. Like, it can just be from killing so many enemies, so many enemy types, from attacking so many times, from getting hit so many times. They are permanent. Even if your unit dies and you resurrect them, they will still be there. And they can be good or bad, so we'll have to see what she got. We may like them, we may not. A recollection, a run, ends if you have no way to continue, if you get beaten by a boss, or if you choose to end it yourself. This will let you start a new try on the first day, and gives you access to more shards, resources that you gain from missions that can be used to buy remembrances, power-ups. You can move to the next day only after closing at least one synapse, the battle we just did. So we need to rest our daughters because each daughter can only be used once per day. So that's what it's making us do here. We're on day 2. One of our daughters can learn a new skill in the Inner Void. Let's go check it out. Alright, so... oh, we need to click here first. Here you can see your daughter's stats, traits, and skills. Skills can be unlocked by reaching new levels of mastery and upgraded with memories. This daughter has earned a new trait reflecting what she has experienced. Traits cannot be removed or changed even in death. That's what I want to check out first. So leader. All adjacent allies gain this effect, plus 40% damage. So anyone standing in a tile next to her, so not just like in the cardinal directions, but in her cardinals as well, gain plus 40% damage, which is huge for someone like Grace, who is, or not Grace, Hope, who is a major damage dealer. And she gets aggressive, which is plus 50 damage to every single hit that she does, which is once again major because she's a multi-hit person, so every single hit gets plus 50 damage. So then let's look at the skills that she gets. Each time you unlock a new skill, you have to choose between 2 different abilities. You can choose Shadow Round, which each use of it takes 5% of her remaining HP. I think it's remaining, it might be total. Deal up to 300 damage to an enemy in range, taking damage from an ally. So every time an ally damages an enemy, she'll shoot this off until her next turn. Has a range of 7. Or a Wrathful Rain for 35 HP. Deal up to 400 AoE damage, then move to an empty tile. Both have very good merits. Shadow Round I see a lot more synergy with, so I'm gonna take that. Then, if we wanted, we can put the memories from the drops that we found. Increases damage of a skill by 50 and decreases target's armor by 40 points. That's kind of a big one right there. Increase critical chance of skill by 5%. Increases damage done by target by 25% for 30 initiative units. That's not one that can go in there, but that's a good one to hit. I do think we're gonna put smoke in there. Alright. New skill for her, Blacksmith's Grace. Increases armor by 180 for 40 initiative, and move up to 15 initiative units on the timeline for each incoming attack. And then Shield Bash. Deal up to 279 damage and push target 5 tiles. Enemies push into each other or an object take another 120 damage. There's a little bit of utility there. Blacksmith's Grace, while it takes 5% of her health to use, I see a lot more utility there of just being able to hunker down when there's a bunch of enemies surrounding them or on a boss that's going to get multiple hits. So we're going to take that. Hope. Lightning Strike. Dash 5 tiles, deal up to 341 damage, has a range of 5. I know for a fact that that actually saves AP just being able to move them. So that's kind of big. They get to move for cheaper. Or a movable stance. React to an enemy finishing movement in melee range for 5% of her HP. So that means if an enemy moves past them and doesn't finish movement in her melee range, that's wasted. So I'm going to go with Lightning Strike. I am going to try to power this up. And I'm going to go with the crit chance, just because I like crit chance. And then, let's look at the Remembrances. Remembrances give you access to bonuses that last through the entire recollection run. A remembrance remains unlocked once it is unlocked, even if you start a new recollection. Unlocking a remembrance doesn't activate it automatically. You must use shards to activate it. You earn shards every time you complete a mission, but your pool of shards is limited to those you had at the start of the recollection. Once you start a new recollection, you get access to all your earned shards. So this one's free. Damage to left eyeball. Start or run with 2 memories, the thing we just powered up the daughter's skills with. So we can activate that for free just in case we fail ever. We won't get those 2 memories until we have to start a new run, but unlock this one by attaching a total of 25 memories. This one is unlocked by getting 5,000 vitae. Close 10 synapses. So you can see that some of these are relatively easy to unlock. It's just we're not going to get them until at least a run or 2. Which isn't horrible considering this is a first run and it's somewhat a roguelike. Memories are obtained when killing certain enemies. They are upgrades you can assign to your daughter's skills, adding various effects, anything from increasing damage or defense to impacting the timeline. Additionally, every memory unlocks a new part of the codex in the memory section. Suppose I can show you guys that real quick too. So in the codex, so we got Witch, for example. And it will give you a little bit about where this came from. Increases a critical chance of skill by 5%, age of shattering 1217. A group of villagers were approaching our fields. Something was wrong. It was clear by the way they walked. By the way, they spoke amongst themselves. There she is, one of them shouted, pointing in my direction. The bleeding voidkin. Never had I seen such fury in someone's eyes. And so I fled as quickly as I could, their screams ringing in my ears all the while. And each one of them has a different little thing about kind of humanity. I'm not going to go through and read each one, but that's an interesting little tidbit for anyone interested in the game, is there's a lot of lore. For this being an indie game, I find it really cool. There's also character entries for every major character and minor character. Like even the plague doctors that we killed have a thing here. The cursed therapists, the scavengers. So there's quite a bit of lore that you can look up in here. So for the fact of this being an indie game, there seems to be a lot put into it to me. So I do appreciate that. But that's about all the further I wanted to get in this first episode. I know some of the later episodes might get a little longer, especially some of the boss fight ones. I'm not sure how long those are going to go, considering they have mechanics in them. But yeah, I'm not sure how many days, that was just the tutorial and then one fight. If I wanted to this day, I could do both of these fights. So I'm not sure how long some of these episodes are going to be. So thank you everyone for watching the first episode of Othercide. I do hope you really enjoyed it. I'm going to really enjoy playing this through and through. I'm really looking forward to finishing the story in this. It's just something really interesting. Stay tuned. This should be something I'm releasing every day. Things do happen though, so if I miss 1 or 2, just know that something happened, whether I couldn't edit an episode or whatnot. Otherwise, it'll be released every day at 2 p.m. Pacific, if I'm doing time zones right. And that goes through the weekends when I have my other daily release. So, thank you everyone for watching. If there's anything else you'd like to see while I'm recording this, please for sure let me know down in the comments. I'll do my best to accommodate that, especially if it's something like, hey, I'd like to see how this game plays without some of the recollection things. The earlier I know, the better for those. Or if you want to see certain team compositions or just how the customization for the characters works, I can definitely make videos for that. So let me know. Otherwise, I do wish you all the best. I will see you next time. Have a good one.